Okay, imagine this picture. A celebrity, someone you recognize, face just twisted in distress, and they're actually clinging to the hood of a truck. And it's moving.
Wow. Yeah.
It picks up speed, her grip looks totally desperate, and this whole terrifying moment, it's caught on video.
And then boom, it's everywhere online.
Instantly,
Yeah.
splattered across social media. It's not just some quick news blip either. It's this really raw, unsettling video that just exploded. Kicked off a huge firestorm of debate, concern. Speculation started flying almost right away.
It's an image that really sticks with you, doesn't it? Sort of forces you to think about how vulnerable people are, especially public figures, in this digital age. These kinds of unfiltered, messy moments seem to become the center of online conversation now.
And that's exactly where we're going with our deep dive today. We're going to unpack this recent incident involving Bhad Bhabie and her baby's father, LV.
Right.
We're drawing heavily from the URBT news article that just came out today, September 17th, 2025. That footage, LV actually posted it himself.
You did, yeah.
And it shows Bhad Bhabie clearly distressed, holding onto that truck hood as it speeds up. It looks really precarious.
So our mission today really is to try and get past the noise,
Yeah.
beyond just the sensational headlines.
Yeah.
We want to look at what happened, according to the source material, sure, but also what does this specific event tell us about the bigger picture, about life online?
Exactly. We'll look at the immediate reactions, that online frenzy, and then kind of zoom out.
Yeah, zoom out to the bigger questions this raises about privacy, consent, how we use social media responsibly.
And the incredible pressure, right? The pressure of having a relationship play out in public when every single moment can be broadcast.
It's immense. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so first off, the speed. The article really emphasizes how quickly this thing spread.
Oh, it's striking.
Yeah.
The velocity. LV posts it, and it doesn't just trickle out. It ignited. That's the word the article used. And it feels right.
Ignited across platforms.
Yeah. It shows how fast information flows now. A personal crisis becomes a public spectacle. Instantly.
Not like the old days of a slow news cycle.
No way. It's instantaneous, it's global, and that speed just changes everything. How we see it, how we react.
It's kind of stunning, really, how fast a private moment turns into this permanent public thing. And the article points out the initial reactions were sort of split, weren't they?
Very much so.
Yeah.
It highlights that knee-jerk response we have. On one side, you saw this wave of real concern for Bhad Bhabie.
Yeah.
Her safety, her well-being.
Understandable. I mean, seeing someone in that position, it's disturbing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then, almost in the same breath, you had this widespread criticism aimed right at LV.
For posting it.
For posting it, for sharing something so sensitive, potentially so damaging publicly. It's this fascinating, almost contradictory public reaction.
Yeah, it shows a real tension there, doesn't it?
It does. That human instinct to worry about someone in danger, butting right up against the ethical judgment about putting that vulnerability out there.
Right.
And what this really shows is how the digital age just collapses that timeline for judgment. A crisis happens, it's recorded, it's shared, and boom, public record.
And the reputation hit can happen way before anyone knows the facts.
Exactly. It plants this seed of perception, and that's incredibly hard to dig out later. It's not just a fleeting scandal.
And that permanent record, plus the quick judgment, it makes navigating relationships, especially for public figures, just so much harder, exponentially harder.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about managing your personal life anymore. You're doing it under this constant, unforgiving spotlight. Every little disagreement, every moment of vulnerability can be twisted or weaponized by millions instantly.
Which brings us to that whole question of what public even means now for these figures.
That's a great point. Their lives are so tied to their public image. But does that mean everyone gets access to every single intimate, distressed moment? Especially if it seems like it was shared without, clear consent from everyone involved.
That line gets so blurry.
It really does. The line between the public persona and private pain. And that's where real harm can happen. Emotionally, sure, but also career-wise, future opportunities.
And context is it's everything, which, as the article notes, was completely missing here. That lack of context just fueled the fire.
Totally. The human brain hates a vacuum, right? Especially with something so dramatic visually.
Yeah.
So theories started popping up immediately. The article mentions some people suggested, maybe a big argument or even a physical fight happened right before.
Which are common assumptions when you see that kind of distress.
They are. Even if the video itself only shows that one specific isolated moment, We try to build a narrative around it.
And the speculation went beyond just the immediate fight, too. The article brings up other potential factors.
Right, like the stresses of being young parents. That's huge.
And the pressures of fame on top of that.
Yeah, those aren't just abstract ideas. For someone in the public eye, young parenthood has this whole extra layer of scrutiny. And fame acts like a magnifying glass, doesn't it? Turning tiny issues into potential tabloid headlines.
That sounds like a pressure cooker.
It really does. Young parenthood is tough anyway. Add the demands of a public career, almost zero privacy, the need to be online all the time. It's a recipe for serious personal strain.
Makes emotional outbursts seem almost predictable in a way.
Or desperate acts, yeah. And what's really key here, something the article stresses, is that why LV posted the video. We just don't know.
Right. The motive is unclear.
Totally unclear. And that lack of known motive is what lets the speculation run absolutely wild.
Yeah.
We're left with way more questions than answers about why he broadcast it.
And maybe the most concerning part. The article explicitly says Bhad Bhabie's current well-being unknown.
Yeah. That's a huge, unresolved question hanging over everything.
We're left with this shocking video, all these theories swirling around, but no actual word on how she is right now, physically or emotionally.
It really shifts things, doesn't it?
Yes.
From just watching news to thinking about the ethics of even consuming this content.
It absolutely does. It highlights that ethical problem for the person sharing, but also for us, the audience, watching it.
Without the full story, without knowing if the person at the center is okay, we're left kind of grappling with the discomfort of what we saw.
It goes beyond just being curious.
Yeah, it moves into a space where you have to think about personal responsibility, collective responsibility.
Yeah.
It becomes really important.
That's a strong point about responsibility, and it leads right into those bigger societal questions this whole thing raises.
Definitely.
The article frames this video release as something that forces us to confront really serious questions about privacy, consent, and potential for exploitation.
Absolutely. Privacy is challenged right away.
Yeah.
Did Bhad Bhabie have any expectation of control over this incredibly personal, distressed moment? Was that violated?
And consent. If she didn't explicitly agree to be filmed and shared like that, how do we even define that act of broadcasting?
Right. It's not just about definitions, though. It's about how these ideas are actually eroding in practice. When someone's distress is used, maybe intentionally, maybe not, for public eyeballs.
Whether it's for attention or drama or clicks.
Exactly. It gets dangerously close to exploitation.
This is where it gets really relevant for everyone, I think. The article calls it a stark reminder about the potential downsides of sharing intimate stuff online without thinking it through. And this isn't just for celebrities, it applies to all of us now, doesn't it? What are some of those maybe less obvious but still powerful negative consequences we should be aware of?
Well, okay. Beyond the obvious stuff like reputational damage and emotional pain, which the article mentions,
Yeah.
you also have potential legal issues.
Yeah.
That line between sharing a personal moment and doing something that could actually have legal consequences.
Like what?
Like harassment, maybe invasion of privacy, even depending on the specifics, potentially reckless endangerment. That line gets really blurry. And that's why the article keeps saying we need more information, more context from both Bhad Bhabie and LV. Because the legal side, it depends entirely on the full circumstances, the specific laws. Context we just don't have right now.
It really makes you realize that sharing something casually online could have these massive, unforeseen, maybe even irreversible results.
It really could. The full context could totally change how we see this. It could shift it from private drama to something much more serious legally, or maybe even less serious. We just don't know.
The whole narrative hangs on details we're missing.
Precisely. And this is where it comes back to you, the listener. This incident involves celebrities, sure, but it makes us all think about our own digital lives, right? Our boundaries.
Yeah.
How do our choices about what we share or even what we consume online affect how people see us?
Yeah.
Or how we see others?
Especially when famous people are involved, but even in our own circles.
Right. When sensitive personal stuff gets out there, intentionally or not, the fallout can be huge. The technology, the ease of sharing, it's kind of outpaced our collective grasp of the ethics involved.
It pushes us into needing a new kind of digital responsibility.
You've really laid out the complexities. But stepping back a bit, do you think there's been a fundamental shift in how society views a public figure's right to privacy? Compared to maybe 10 years ago? Is that bar for consent to be seen just getting lower and lower with every viral moment like this?
That's a fascinating question. Is the bar lower?
I think maybe it's less lower and more shifting, and
Yeah.
often without any real agreement on where it should be. 10 years ago, okay, maybe paparazzi catch a celebrity distressed, it gets published,
Right.
but it wouldn't likely be broadcast immediately by their partner and then instantly amplified by millions of regular users. The power dynamics are so different now.
That's true. The source of the sharing matters.
Hugely.
Yeah.
The potential for self-exposure or exposure by people really close to you is just so much greater. It complicates the whole idea of privacy in ways we haven't really figured out yet. It makes you wonder if, for some people, privacy is becoming kind of an outdated concept.
Wow. That's a really thought-provoking angle. So this deep dive into the Bhad Bhabie video, it's done more than just replay a distressing moment. It really has shown a light on some critical parts of modern public life.
Yeah.
We've seen the incredible power of social media to just blow things up instantly, the rush to judgment that follows,
Almost always.
and that constant, often painful tension between public curiosity and personal privacy.
It really is like a small example, a microcosm of so many challenges we face in this always connected world. The article gives us a snapshot, but the implications ripple out way beyond that one video clip.
Yeah, challenging our ideas about who's accountable, who has agency online. So this whole thing really forces us to think, what responsibility do we have as people consuming this stuff online when we see these raw, uncontextualized moments pop up on our feeds?
How do we balance that natural curiosity we all have with the ethics, with thinking about privacy and consent, especially for people in the public eye?
And maybe the tougher question, when does documenting and sharing this kind of intimate, personal drama cross a line?
Yeah, cross the line into exploitation. Not just by the people directly involved, maybe, but by the wider audience, too. The ones who watch it, share it, comment on it.
These aren't easy questions at all.
Not at all. They really challenge us to think about our own part in this whole digital ecosystem. What kind of online world are we actually building together?
Seriously important points. For those of you listening who want to keep up with this story, maybe get some of that crucial context we've been talking about, you can find the latest at URBTnews.com.
Definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep thinking critically, deep divers.